So welcome to Boxing Media Hub, proudly in partnership with Falcon Contracting and Jam's Boxing Chat. And clearly I didn't get the memo for a hat, but we are live. I am here with two beautiful human beings. I'm here with Jam, my brother as always, and the brother was slightly older, is in the far corner, Mr. Neutral, as always. Thank you very much for joining me, both of you. And Jam is going to give us the little announcement of who we've got coming up for this one.
Of course, mate. We're here for Denys Berinchyk versus Keyshawn Davis. This is the WBO lightweight title. Sorry, WBO lightweight title that takes place in New York on the 1st of February this year, of course. We've got the businessman, Keyshawn Davis, undefeated. With a record of 12-0 against Denys Berinchyk, 19-0. The Ukrainian has got 9 knockouts, and he was last out in a massive victory over Manuel Navarrete.
Yeah,
So
this
there
is
you go. That's what we're here for.
This is a beauty. This is, to be perfectly honest, and I'm going to chuck it to Neutral to begin with, because I know this man, he loves the American stuff.
He's our USA correspondent. Let's be truthful. He's our talk guy.
We're just going, and now over to our correspondent for the Hard Talk USA host, Neutral.
Man. Don't make me to try an American accent. I can't do it. What can we say? The WBO title on the line for Keyshawn Davis. A magnificent opportunity for him. Olympian, done nothing wrong in his 12 fights. His last fight was cracker. Second round knockout against Gustavo Lemos. Nobody was expecting that. I mean, that was meant to be Keyshawn Davis's
toughest
sort of signature fight, and you know, to really test him
with the weight as well.
Massive step
Remember the weight problems. Gustavo Lemos came in like 20 pounds heavier as well, so it was a huge opponent against Keyshawn.
Yeah, he was, and credit to Keyshawn against everybody said, you know, sort of, cancel the fight. You can't do that. He stepped in there 2 rounds, put the guy away. But it wasn't until afterwards that we found out that Lemos was actually having draining problems, getting down, and took too much out of him. So a lot of people were like, oh, no, it wasn't, on the level. So I disagree. I think whatever happened with Lemos, he just wasn't right for Keyshawn Davis. That was a great performance. But Berinchyk, this is, for me, is another step up.
Yeah,
massively.
36-year-old, Ukrainian, tough as, just too tough. I can't see another Gustavo Lemos situation here. I think Berinchyk is nailed on to take him to the trenches, take him to the distance. I do predict a distance fight here. If I'm going with my heart says I want Keyshawn to win, but the head says Berinchyk he's too strong. I just think what he did with Navarrete over the 12 rounds, unanimous. It was constant pressure, and he beat back Navarrete, who is a tremendous. He's a tremendous power puncher. Everything that he hit him with, he took it. And Keyshawn Davis he's going to be took to the limit here. But for United States sort of point of view, I want them boys to do well, but my head says Berinchy's just too strong. I think it's won a fight too soon.
I think the mad thing is, though, Neutral, the last fight against Lemos, we obviously thought that it was going to be a tough fight then, and he turned the screw and did it. And I think every time Keyshawn steps up, he steps up another level, doesn't he? He just seems to prove how good he really is. And I was luckily enough to to interview Keyshawn a long time ago, and
I remember.
he's just got this look about him, this thing in his eyes that says, "I'm going to be a world champion. There's no stopping me, and I'm just going to go and do it." And I believed it. Since that moment, he's just so well drilled, isn't he? He lives for this. He absolutely lives for this. And for me, like you say, I can't see a stoppage in this. I just can't. I think they're both going to go to war. I think tactically they're both just going to be almost cancelling each other out throughout this fight. It could be around here, around there. It's going to be one of those back and forth. But for me, I think Keyshawn takes this on points. But I think it's just, we wouldn't be shocked either way, would we? I think that's the thing. That's what makes this a really good fight. Just quickly before we go to Jam, we unlock Jam. Round 8 for Denys. Says, Sammy boy. Thank you very much, Sam. The Writing Yogi. Thank you very much
Big
for joining us.
Yogi.
As much as I like Keyshawn Davis, Berinchyk is an elite opponent. We all know he has that Slavic work ethic. So Davis is about to get his first loss. Drink more water. He's chasing you, Jam. Keyshawn winning this. And yeah, come on, Keyshawn. So he's on the water. Jam, you've heard the people. Mate. You've heard Neutral's Corner. You've heard mine, but you can ignore me. It's over to you, Jam. What do you reckon?
Mate, I love this fight. I think it's a massive fight. Honestly, a lot of people are sleeping on this. This is a huge fight, man. We've got 2 undefeated guys here. You've got Denys Berinchyk, former Olympian. He's an absolute star. He might be getting on a bit at 36. And we've got Keyshawn Davis, decorated amateur himself. Absolute fantastic boxer. I want this to go one way, and I think it will go another way. I want Keyshawn Davis to win because I want the Ukrainian domination of boxing to stop, just for the reason that I want someone else to have a fucking chance. You know what I mean? But I don't think it's going to happen in this fight. And I'm with Neutral. I think Denys Berinchyk a bit too long in the tooth, got a bit too much skill, and I just think he's just going to outwork the younger man and just show him what a bully looks like. And I think he's going to take this fight, mate. And I think Denys Berinchyk is going to win this fight. I hope it's not by knockout, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was. But for Keyshawn's sake, I hope he puts on a good show, stands his ground, and he can move on to bigger fights. Like Turkey Al Shaker said, not every boxer has to have a no. You know what I mean? You can fucking move on. You can still box. You can still get to the top level. Muhammad Ali lost 5 fights. One of the best of all time, if not the greatest ever. That can still happen with Keyshawn. But I think he's going to lose this one, learn a lot, and move on to other things. So for me, Denys Berinchyk, I'm going to go points, but there could be a late stoppage.
I think going on, obviously, what Turkey Al Sheikh, like you were saying, he's liking the UFC model, isn't he? In that aspect of, we just want to see the best fight, the best. We want to see the fights that the fans want to see. We want to see the fan fights, and he's been doing that, hasn't he? That's what he's been working with. Is if everyone else is going to argue about it, I just want to see it. And that's what we've been having. And it's been beautiful, isn't it? You know, as boxing fans, we've been loving every minute of it.
As you said earlier there, Joe, Keyshawn has shown a certain confidence, a quiet confidence over the last few years. He's not a trash talker per se. You know, and the whole family are very good boxers, you know, his brothers as well. So, they've got their own gym now in Norfolk. I just think, you know, he is very much on the evolvement trail. As I said, I just find this fight 1 fight or 2 fights too soon. 12 fights into his career up against such a high-class individual like Denys Berinchyk. And he wasn't overlooked by Zepeda and others for no reason at all going into this fight. Keyshawn was the only one.
Well, boys, TJ has put Denys may be the worst current champion in all of boxing.
What, worse than Kubrat Pulev?
Oh, come on. Let's give Pulev his props, mate. Come on.
Yeah, but he's 43 years old. He walks like a snowman. You could melt him in one.
You're telling me Denys Berinchyk better than Buddy Jack? He's not. His Barry Jack's better.
Well, no,
Denys Berinchyk is not the worst champion at the moment, I tell you. There's a lot worse out there, but that's neither here nor there.
we all have an opinion. We all have an opinion. Key
I respect
doesn't
it.
lose a round. Key stoppage. Book it. Chilltown Boxing.
We will. We will.
SWS Boxing. TJ, you must be joking. Keyshawn, not a trash talker. He talks plenty of trash. Catch one of the Instagram lives. I'm dead serious.
Oh, I'm
What
not on
the Yiggit
Instagram,
fight?
so I apologise for that. I've not seen him
Yidgett's a friend of the
trash
channel,
talk.
mate. We watched that fight. He's a good lad. He's a good lad.
Yeah, I mean,
He's not a top
Keyshawn
10
knocked
Anthony,
him
can
out.
you dig
lightweight.
it, Yiggett? We
Keyshawn
like
knocked
Anthony,
him out.
can you
He
dig
did,
it,
but
don't we?
Yidget was having a lot of success in that fight, whereas Berinchyk gave him a masterclass against Anthony Yidget. So it's still close for me. Very close. It's a thin line.
Yeah,
It's a very close fight. Like, Keyshawn is a top talent, mate. No one's disrespecting Keyshawn, believe me.
Not
We've
at
had him on
all.
the channel. He's a friend of the channel. He's an absolute star.
Just try to be realistic to the fact that you just can't overlook these Ukrainians so easily.
they're just dominating at the moment, aren't they? They're
You just don't know how
dominating.
to not. If you haven't learned that by now, then really go and watch something else.
Well, there you
Ukrainians
go.
are on point at the moment. They are. They're just running things. I think it could be to do with the war. You know, we won't get into that. But, you know,
It's
they're
just the
fighting for
mentality.
survival.
It's culture.
They've had a shift.
That country's been at war for 2,000 years. There's not many people who, you know. Have you ever seen a Ukrainian with a sense of humor apart from music? You know, when he's not playing up on videos, they don't laugh because they got nothing to laugh about. And you're up against that mentality. Yeah.
Well, there we have it. Let us know in the comments, people. Hit the subscribe button, but let us know your thoughts at home. Let's hand it over to Neutral to see us out on this one.
This has been Boxing Media Hub. You know what time it is. Let's have it.
Have some of this.